All right, let's do it. I wanted to make this video to help people out there that are considering buying this bike behind me, the One United City bike. Last time I checked, there wasn't a lot of videos out there that, first of all, even covered anything about it, honestly, or anything that covered the negatives. So I want to cover that quickly in this video, and I'll go over the things I like and the things I don't like. Let's start with the honest things I don't like part. When you are watching the marketing videos for this thing, they're really selling you on how the battery is in the seat post, and you just pop it out and you charge it and pop it in and you go and you pop it out and you charge it. And it's very misleading, because here's why. It doesn't pop in and out like that. You have to push it down and then get on your back and unscrew this confusing screw right here, and to uninstall it. And then once you pop it out, charge it, put it back in, you have to get back on the ground, okay, and wiggle around and try to find it. I mean, there could be somebody out there that has the patience to master that and deal with that, but I found that I wasn't that person. So I found myself never uninstalling the seat. I only push it down when I'm throwing it in the trunk, and then obviously I pop it out when I'm riding it, but I never fully remove the seat because I found it to be too much of a pain, and I think anybody else would as well. That's probably one of the biggest cons, because I bought this thing, was like, oh man, that's gonna be awesome. I can just pop out the seat. I can leave the body in the trunk, just pop out the seat, boom, I'm good to go. So that was one of the biggest cons to me. Again, I found myself never removing the seat. I'll just, when I park in my parking garage, because I live in a condo, I just find myself, if I need to charge it, I just grab the whole bike. It's about, I think it's like 25 pounds, and it's kind of a two-hander, and then I'll bring it in and I'll charge the whole thing, and then I'll put it, back in the trunk when I'm done. The second big con is performance. If performance is what you seek, this is not the thing for you. On the scale of the three that I've had, the Electric XP, the Fido D2S, this is the slowest of all the bikes. The torque is the slowest. The top speed feels like the slowest. Both of those bikes felt faster. Electric XP, that thing felt like a motorcycle. So if performance is what you want and you're not worried about form factor and foldability and compactness and how light it is, you can stop watching this video now, go buy the Electric XP. Highly recommend that bike. Wasn't for me. I sold it because the tires were too big. It was a 20-inch tires. They're fat tires. Now, don't get me wrong, they're super fun to ride, but I found that I needed more portability than that one was giving me. And it was like 75 pounds, which is super weighty. It was so big, I was like, man, I would rather just get a bike rack and just throw this thing on there like a normal bike. So I sold that. Performance on this thing is terrible. I never even used the thumb throttle because that's how slow it is. With this thing, be ready. If the electricity dies, this is the other disappointing thing, third, then you can barely even move this thing. When the power dies on this, I have to like push it by hand. I can't even like ride it like a normal bike unless you're on a super flat surface, which usually you're not gonna be, especially if you're out riding around. There's gonna be a point where this thing dies and you hit a hill and you're gonna have to jump off and push it up. So that was also disappointing. It's like, if this thing is so light, why do I have to have electricity? So in summary, you have to use the pedal assist. 1, 2, or 3. I find myself usually in 1 or 2. Well, you have to be in 1 to even make this thing rideable, and then 2 or 3 depending on the hill or the incline that you're on. So those are all the negatives. The positives, and the reason that I will be keeping this bike is because it's so freaking light and it's so easy to fold up, throw in the trunk, and literally forget about it. You can throw this thing in your trunk, whether you have a Honda Civic or like a hatchback. Currently I have a hatchback. I toss it back there, I forget about it. It's great. There's been a lot of times where I was in a spot and I needed an alternate means of transportation, and this thing came in handy. So anyways, that's it. Just a quick video on my thoughts. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up.